Alright, now, plunger tube, colors could vary. Could be white or it could be this orange. The older blue ones will probably be this color orange. The newer ones have a white one, just this one's plunger tube got broken. So this is an orange plunger tube from an extra retaliator I had lying around. Plunger rod, yours will probably be orange. Bolt and bolt sled, again, will probably also be orange, and it will not have these. You will want to screw your slide into these. Wait, no. The slide does not get... The slide just slots into these. Catch, nothing special about this one. And your spring. This is an upgraded spring, but they're all springs. So, first, what you want to do, if you have not taken this out, then the trigger and muzzle is pretty easy. Just make sure you have this spring in, and you should be good. Other than that, it is relatively easy. I'm going to relubricate mine, as it has not been lubricated in a while. Just relubricating the O-rings. No, I wish I had some paper towels. Plunger tube with the plunger rod in it gets put right here. Actually, now that I think about it, you want to put the bolt sled in first, and then you want to put the bolt sled, there we go, into the front, and then you want to position your plunger tube and plunger rod. Now you want to make sure that your plunger tube is in place, and then you want to push your bolt sled back, typically without making a mess. You want to make sure your plunger rod is free and can clear the show. You want to make sure when the sled goes back, the rod does too. Make sure your trigger is seated. And that's pretty much it, actually. You then want to double check the other side of the shell, or really, you just want to find this rod. It goes in this hole. And then you want to put in your jam door. You don't have to, it's just, I do. You also want to make sure that the dart holder is not on the other side of the shell. You want to put it on the side of the shell you're actually working on. You'll notice I haven't put the spring in yet because it's easier to do it the way I'm about to do it. So I'm going to put the shell back together and tighten a couple of screws. Try to stay away from the back. The retaliator does have a few sized screws. This hole, and this hole. Wait, no. I think it's this hole, and this hole all get the long screws. I want to say that's it. Yeah, these three holes will get long screws. Alright, now that you have a few screws in, you want to come back here. Forgot to put the catch in. The catch is a critical piece to the operation of the blaster. So you want to make sure that you install the catch. Catch will go in, spring facing downward. And it just slots in like so. Then the plunger tube slots in. It helps if you, it actually will help if the rod is clearing the shell, and then it will just slot together. It should go together relatively easily if you've opened it up before. If you haven't, then it may be a little bit difficult and you'll really have to push it in. And again, tighten a few screws. These 3 holes get the long screws. Once you have a few of the front screws in, you want to take your spring and pull the back of the shell apart and push it in. Okay, now something's not clearing. Alright, just double check that the bolt slid's all the way forward. The plunger tube's in position and the plunger rod is clearing the shell. And now it should just slot together. Okay, what am I missing? There we go. Alright, plunger tube, the bolt sled needs to be all the way forward, plunger tube needs to be all the way back, and plunger rod needs to be clearing the shell. Yeah, there we go. Alright, I'm going to put in a few extra screws. I'm sorry, you probably couldn't see that. But now it's just a matter of putting in screws. I'm going to put in all 3 long ones. You want to make sure that the screws at the very least clear the top end of their screw holes. Spread the shell a little bit. Insert your spring. At which point you can just start screwing in all of the screws. Plunger tube needs to be touching the catch. Bolt sled needs to be all the way forward, so the dart tooth needs to be completely disengaged. And like I said, now you just start screwing in screws. And now your butt plate, yours will also not look like this. It will have a long protruding bit so the plunger rod does not stick out, because that is a safety hazard. You want to use these kind of screws here. No, those are the ones. in, and then just screw it on. And now once you get all the screws in, your retaliator is put back together. Plunger needs to be touching the catch. Bolt sled needs to be all the way forward. Tighten up to these screw posts here, and these screws. Pull the back of the shell apart as little as you can and insert your spring. It needs to be flush with the back end of the shell. And then you will be good. I hope this is helpful, and good luck.